Fun fact, the name Damien Chazelle in its original language literally translates to one who doesn't know how to make a bad movie. The more you know. First Man is Damien Chazelle's follow-up to the critically acclaimed films Whiplash and La La Land, this time starring Ryan Gosling as Neil Armstrong, and covering the decade that he found himself fighting to survive his own personal battles as well as, oh yeah, a trip to the moon. Chazelle has blown me away every single time out. Will this launch make it 3 for 3? Well, here's 5 things you might want to know about First Man. Well, apparently it's time for another episode of Aaron Loses His Mind. Man, did I love this movie. Damien Chazelle just has my number. He is indeed 3 for 3 as far as I'm concerned. I think this is fantastic. Let's start with one of the main reasons why. The stars in this movie are absolutely phenomenal. And by that, I mean the people acting in the movie, not the visual stars. Gosling, Foy, just incredible. I know we're early in on the award season right now, but I think it's pretty much a lock that they're both getting nominations in this. Ryan Gosling is phenomenal, and everything that he does is under the surface. He's playing a character that is emoting all inside, and that's always one of the most impressive things to me. Foy, on the other hand, is giving an external performance, but it is captivating, and more than that, it is just aggressive and interesting, and I love that she's given enough to do in this movie, because I really feel like there's a chance here, because of the time frame that it's from, that the women get pushed to the background. But this movie does it in a way where it still feels realistic to the time period, but also feels realistic to that actual character. I love both of these performances, along with many others in the movie. The acting in this is phenomenal. I'll also tell you this, and I consider this an amazing part of the movie. If you're going expecting the next Apollo 13, you need to shift your expectations. This is a movie about the humanity and not necessarily the mission to the moon. Now, actually, it's about both, and it does a great job at balancing those. But Neil Armstrong's life here is so intimately explored. What he was going through, the details of his personal life, loss in his life, things he was healing from, his relationship, his family, all of that is a structure in a tapestry, so to speak, for us to see this mission to the moon. By the way, those details are amazing too. Things you never knew about the whole decade that they were just attempting to duct tape machines together to get us to the moon. It's absolutely incredible stuff because it is both about the mission and about Neil Armstrong's life and the intimacy and closeness of both of those things that we're feeling throughout this movie is absolutely astonishing. Among the many things that I loved in this movie, I do have to take a second here and shout out the sound in this movie. And I don't just mean like the sound editing, which I think it will get a nomination in because it's phenomenal. I mean, the score in this is gorgeous. Justin Hurwitz, right? He's kind of blowing me away, and I love this pairing, Chazelle and Hurwitz, and what they do. I cannot wait to see more from them because there's a real beauty to the music, a grandeur to the music. There's also a tension to the music that is interesting, and all that stuff is going on at the same time. It's absolutely beautiful. There is one particular moment in this movie where the music so fully informs what's going on that every single hair on my body stood on end. I had goosebumps all over. This movie is full of that kind of stuff, and one of the big reasons is the sound. The sound isn't the only technical part of the movie that's incredible. The visuals are as well. The way he is filming this mission and this man's life it's brilliant. And I'll tell you why. It's not just what you see on screen, which is captivating and emotional in a way that I don't know that I was expecting. It's also the thematic representation in the visuals and, as mentioned, the sound that are bringing everything about this movie and what it's about to you. The claustrophobia of what they're dealing with, these closed spaces, how that relates to the claustrophobia of his life, his personal life, the separation, the healing. All of this is represented not only in the mission to the moon, but also in what Neil Armstrong is going through. And that mirroring visually of his life and the mission and what's going on is a brilliant way to bring home a very human theme of what it means to go through trauma, what it feels like to experience trauma, and what it means to begin to heal from trauma. I was so thoroughly impressed with not just what Chazelle was saying, but the way he was saying it. You're probably asking yourself if I'm going to say anything negative about this movie, and no, I'm not. Although, let's go with a caution for this last one. I talk about the claustrophobia of what Chazelle is doing here, and he's doing it very purposefully. However, having said that, I can see some being very discomforted by the way he's shooting this. The close-ups, the shaky cam, the noise that's going on here. Sometimes it feels like even, and I believe this is all purposeful, but you can't even understand what's going on with some of the speaking and the sounds inside the space shuttle, because I think we're supposed to realize they were having to do these life or death movements based on things, statements, instructions that they could barely hear, panels they could barely see. But because of all of that, what he's doing with the camera here, and by the way, again, also in his life, lots of close-ups on the personal conversations. Those feel almost as claustrophobic as the space mission. Again, I think very purposeful. But because of that, fair warning, that might be something that gets to you early on and you just can't quite get past. For me, this is actually another positive because I think it's all intentional and brilliant, but for you, it may be a negative. Overall, yeah, I loved it. Had a blast, thought it was impressive, educational, wonderful, meaningful. All of those things are enough for me to give First Man an A. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the best ever challenge here in a bit. Before we do, though, let's hang out even further. Hit me up on Twitter at Aaron Dicer, AARONDICER. We can hang out there, talk about movies. Subscribe to the podcast, SiftPop. In fact, these movie reviews will be starting to be called SiftPop reviews. I think we're going to go all under that brand. So if you want to check out the podcast, it's SIFTPOP. Sometimes people don't hear the T. It's not SiftPop. It's SiftPop. There's the difference. SiftPop.com if you want to check that out. Or again, wherever you do your podcasts, you can listen to it there. And subscribe here at YouTube and hit the little alert bell so you don't miss reviews when they come out. You'll get a notification if you do that. And thank you for hanging out in the comments and hanging out here at YouTube. I do appreciate that as well. Oh, in the Patreon, patreon.com, Your Movie Friend. That will also be switching to SiftPop as well. You'll support it, get access to bonus episodes of the podcast, as well as lots of fun perks for here at the YouTube channel. And thank you so much. It's because of you that I'm able to do all these things through your support, like $3 a month. So I really do, I do appreciate that, and I want to honor that. All right, let's move on to the best ever challenge, where you name the best thing ever in a particular category and also try to identify my choice. You may have noticed I said thing this time because we're not doing a movie. We're actually going to do best ever director consistency. Now, I want you to think of the director who has the biggest hit percentage with you, not just movies that are okay, but movies that you really like or love. This is in honor of Damien Chazelle being 3 for 3 for me. My winner is going to be a director who is 5 for 5, and I'm just going to say you could never call him Mr. Wrong. Take a guess at mine in the comments. First person to get it right does get a point. I'd love to hear your choice as well. It's a fascinating conversation. We talked about it a long time on this week's podcast. It was a lot of fun, so I'd love to hear your choice in the comments. As always, I'll give you a few extra seconds to hit subscribe. Just click my face.